You know what I just realized after watching the opening of this episode of Assassination Classroom? I watch it every week, obviously, because I love the opening song. It's growing on me, especially the symbolism and foreshadowing that the openings of Assassination Classroom do. But I just realized in this episode, after watching this week's opening song, that there is actually something changing in the opening song. That really makes me sad. And I'm going to mention it because it's not really a spoiler, but it's something that really hits you and hits the feels because you know the end of Assassination Classroom is upon us. So at the beginning of the episode, we come to find out that there's only 32 days left until the due date, when Koro Sensei needs to be killed or he's probably going to be saved, one or the other. 32 days left. Well, in the middle of the opening song, if you look at the blackboard, you actually see 32. Well, this is backwards to you, you see, 32, or I can't do fucking backwards writing, but you see 32 on the blackboard, and that made me sad because the actual opening song is counting down how many days are left until Koro Sensei either has to die or he will live. And I'm like, bro, that's sad. That's pretty sad. That's really some sad shit. It is. So yeah, take a moment to realize that the opening song has been counting down slowly. I wonder if it's been doing that since, the beginning. The first opening we got earlier on. I wonder if it's been doing that. I'm curious about that. But the next thing, though, to look at, though, is that this episode, besides having some feels that I noticed, there was some very good moments throughout this entire episode that was very romantic. And it's one of those type of episodes that's kind of gearing us up for the end game of the series, letting us know which character is going to be with which character. Like, for instance, kind of concluding the romantic pairs. As with any series, many fans of the series will eventually, as they read, find certain characters they want to be paired together. And eventually they'll be saying, oh, I want this character to be with this character. Like, for instance, you would want, Kurosama being with Bitch Sensei and these two getting together. It's been like a romantic relationship building up slowly since the beginning of the series. And finally, in this episode, we get to see some romantic relationships build up, kind of conclude, and also get confirmed. And seeing Kurosama say, hey, you can move in with me, there's a shrine near my house. I was like, yo, that's so cute! So, I mean, seeing Bitch Sensei actually being with Kurosama, and she is going to be staying with him, and they're living together, that all but confirms that they're pretty much together. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, and I was just so happy and smiling inside seeing them. Like, that is so sweet. That is just so sweet. Seeing these two getting together, seeing how now this romance pair has been confirmed. We know she's been fighting to get with Kurosama for a very long time. It's been a very long ongoing thing, and now that he's finally accepted her, he likes her, you should stay with me and all that, you should quit being an assassin. I was like, yo, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. So that was a very good note to end the episode on. But then there was other wonderful moments in this episode that really just, once again, gears us up for the remaining episodes of the series. For instance, Kayano and Nagisa, that entire scene with the romance between them building up. How Kayano kills herself to kind of let Nagisa continue looking at the future, what he wants to do. And she holds back her entire feelings for Nagisa because she wants him to continue doing what he's doing, looking on forward. It was very admirable, but also how she gave him chocolate. And it just lets us know that Nagisa and Kayano most likely will eventually be together. And then moving on, we get to see some dialogue between the principal and Koro Sensei. And that scene there, that too was a very enjoyable scene that really symbolizes the rivalry between these two characters that have been there since the beginning of the series. I mean, we always known that the principal and Koro Sensei have been going neck to neck, head to head together since the beginning. They've always kind of competed who's the better teacher, and with the recent arcs and all that, they finally came to an understanding between the two. And when you see the principal walk in and all that, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna have to deduct your pay and all that, make it kind of lower, and then he looks at the picture that's on Koro Sensei's desk, and he's like, oh, she would have been a very good teacher eventually. A couple more years, she would have been a very fabulous teacher. I mean, in his mind, he's thinking like, it's thanks to you two how you guys can help the school from the bottom and how I help it from the top. It was just a really nice thing to see what the principal was saying. And then he goes along the lines of saying, you should probably stay here as a teacher. You should probably stay. I would like to hire you again next year. But Koro Sensei's like, no, if, everything works out and all that, I plan on just going on a journey, just a trip around the world and all that type of stuff. And, I'm kind of not going to teach anymore. And it was really sad to know that regardless if Koro Sensei survives or not, if it does all continue on, he's not going to continue being a teacher. He's going to do his own thing. He's going out in the world. I mean, really, the first thing he did, or he was looking forward to, was keeping his promise to the person he loved, being a teacher for that year until supposedly he was going to die. And with that being said, he now has accepted that if he does have a future, he's going to do some other things. He's probably going to do some soul searching, doing other things with his life that he never got to do, and probably helping out people and all that. So it's kind of an admirable moment as well. He's like, nah, I can't do teaching. But then, you know, the principal is like, hey, you know, I was probably going to bribe you, but now I really can't do that because of that. So yeah, the episode of Assassination Classroom, on point as always. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We only have a couple more episodes left. Please be safe. Chibi out.